Welcome back to Inside the Case. This time we got something kind of neat. This is one of my favorite transmissions. It's an 02J, and this one has 363,000 kilometers on it, but it experienced one of the typical 02J failures, and that's the center pin delete. So we've got some pretty chaotic damage in here that extends into the bell housing. You can see we're not supposed to see our pinion gear there, but we're gonna take this thing apart. We're gonna see the extent of the damage, see what is and isn't still good. So let's get started. First things first, the other one's been robbed. So now we'll get our pick. These are our shift linkage pivot pins. So let's just clean out the bolts for these and get an appropriate size Torx for them. I always forget at least one of these Torx when I'm taking apart one of these transmissions. So it's my goal today to not. This right here is the bolt I always forget. That's for our reverse idler. Now we have our shifter tower. I always forget what this is called. That's a little cup that the bottom end of our shift tower sits in. So let's get our triple squares out and let's take that off. So I didn't mention it beforehand, but this transmission was behind a BEW inside of my buddy's wagon, which I hope will get to feature more on the channel here. So we can take a 3/8 extension here and we can actually fish it down through the shift linkage into the bottom of that cup, and we can give it a couple taps. And we can knock our cup out here. Our clip came off and it's likely still inside. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, I can't get it out. That's all right, we'll get it later. So now, moving forward, we're gonna get through our gear cover here, our 5th gear cover, and that's gonna have 511 mils on it. All right, so here's our prized BEW 5th gear that everyone loves to swap into their ALHs. So something kind of interesting here, I don't have a shift tower, so we're gonna have to manually engage this into a gear. We need to get the 2 screws out that hold our 5th gear shift linkage in place, and those are gonna be M8s. And then we have a Torx down in here. Let's just get our 5th gear shift linkage. We have a Torx right in here, which I think we might just leave on. Here's the thing. We have to lock it into 5th gear. Then we also have to lock it into 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Now that's gonna be the difficult part, because like I said, I don't have any additional shift linkage. There we go. So now our transmission's locked up, and I can come in here with an M14, and pray to God we don't break that. All right, so 5th gear nuts are off, or sorry, 5th gear retaining bolts are off. So now we can pull off our 5th gear Synchro hub and collar. 1, 2, and 3. I wonder if I've got that up enough to get a puller in there. Let's try this, and if this doesn't work, we'll try the slide hammer that we used on our ZF5 video. We might be able to make that work. So we just need a sacrificial bolt. All right, so now let's get our impact on there. There we go. So there is our 5th gear Synchro and Synchro hub. Oh, and off comes our cluster shaft gear. We're gonna move on to our bolts that hold our case halves together. Got one more on this side, and that's not coming off like that. All right, so let's flip it over. The remainder of our bolts here are in the bell housing, but let's get our remaining case bolts off. And we'll get our 4 that hold our cluster shaft in. So at this point we should be able to split our case, or at least start splitting our case, because remember we still have our gear up in here. But I almost forgot, I'm happy I didn't. There's one more Torx down in there. that should be all our bolts. Just gonna thread a bolt in here so I can hit it. Pop our case free. Okay, so now our gear is holding us, but we've successfully opened this up 1/4 inch. So we're going to stand our case back up. We're going to take our pry bars and we're going to put them in here. I would like to first of all say, this is not the method you would use if you cared about your case or your shaft. All I care about is the gear. So we've now spaced. So now we're going to take our socket and we're going to hammer our shaft down in. And we'll get an additional 3/8 of clearance here to where we can then get a puller on it and finish the job. So we can hear that pitch change, which means our shaft is now all the way bottomed up against our case on the other side. So now we can pull out our pry bars and now we have all that clearance under there. So we could, if we wanted to, space this up now, let's say 5/8 of an inch and finish that off. But I think now my puller can get in there. It's important that I use a 2-prong puller here. So we have our sacrificial bolt in there. Now I'm on it a little wonky here because I don't have the proper puller for this. Ideally, we'd have a specialized thin 2-jaw puller, but let's finish this job up. There's our cluster shaft gear. So it's now at this point, we can pop our case half off and lose a screw. So I'll keep this up here because I would like to look at that in a minute. So here's the inside of our 02J. And obviously we can see nothing but carnage on the inside of this thing. There's metal all over the place. So first things first, we're gonna get our linkage off. That's pretty simple, it just comes off. Next we have our reverse idler linkage, and our reverse idler, that's going to be a Torx, which is looking like our T45. This is the clip that came off of our shifter cup. So we'll just clip that back on there. Okay, let's get our T45 out. This is where that side screw would have gone in. So we'll just wiggle out our reverse idler selector. Now the actual shaft for the idler, we kind of just work out like so. So our reverse idler gear, due to its method of engagement, it's very typical that we see wear on this, but we can quickly give it a wipe and we can see that this one has the wear. So there's chunks missing out of it on pretty much every tooth. So this, if this was my personal transmission, I might run this if I had to, but this would need to be replaced in a rebuild. So this one's no good, and this is caused by sloppy engagement. Every time you put the vehicle in fifth and it makes the clunk as it goes in, that's this guy. So to avoid this, it's 100% user error or driver habit. Before putting the vehicle in reverse, you'll put it into a forward gear, and that stops the inside of the transmission from spinning, allowing you to safely engage your reverse idler. This is of course our reverse drive gear, which drives our shaft. So now, because we've taken the 4 nuts off the opposite side of this, we can pull our cluster and input shafts out as one and set them down, and we'll just quickly put the case aside just to buy us some room here to inspect these. So the input shaft, I suspect, is going to be fine. The splines are okay. So first gear looks to be all right. Second, third, and fourth all look to be in good shape as well. So it's at this point you would replace your bearings, and this counter shaft slash input shaft would be ready for a rebuild. Moving on to our main shaft or our cluster shaft. So we're going to work backwards than I did on the counter shaft. We're going to take a peek at fourth gear first and see there's not a lot of wear on the synchro teeth. This looks to be in good shape. Third looks to be the same story. Same with second. And I'm not just looking at the teeth, I'm looking down into where the synchro sleeve engages on the gear. Normally you'll see engagement wear on these from the synchro collar or the shift collar engaging on them. This is our reverse gear right here, and we can see that it's chewed up from our reverse idler. It's got massive chunks missing. So this cannot be reused. And here is first gear. Now first gear looks to be in decent shape. There's no wear on our synchro teeth, or our engagement teeth rather. So now here's what I'm interested to see, and that is our pinion gear, because obviously with that center pin blowout, our diff could have caused damage to this, which looks to be all right. So my guess is that the diff blew and this transmission was immediately taken out of service. The vehicle's parked. So aside from our reverse gear wear, this main shaft, well, our reverse gear wear and likely our bearings, this guy is in decent shape. So now here's our diff. And this is what I'm thinking is garbage. Because we have our side gears coming out missing chunks. So these guys are gone. And obviously, oh man, this thing is a catastrophe. Surprisingly, our plastic bushing is in good shape. I'm not gonna lie, I would have assumed this would be the first thing to get chewed up. I'm obviously missing spider gears. I don't have spider gears here. So I don't know where they went. If they came out completely and are on the road somewhere, I mean, there's a pretty big hole there. So, I mean, it could easily be assumed that it could have fallen out. Look at this thing. It is absolutely destroyed. And this isn't even all of it. There's pieces here that are missing. So this is a poor yet good example of the rub in the case that the diff can sometimes leave. This might be because of its catastrophic failure, but the bearing wear in here also, on a healthy 02J, the bearing wear from normal use can allow for the carrier to walk and then eat away at the case a bit. But yeah, that is our 02J with its differential completely destroyed. It's a shame that these ring gears are riveted on. Otherwise we could be able to reuse that one because this gear looks to be in good shape. So this carrier might still be good. I don't see any ridiculous wear on that. Obviously our bearings are likely shot and it would need to be very healthily cleaned. But I mean, like I said, our plastic bushing didn't even wear through. So we don't have to worry about any real catastrophic wear on the inside here. We can see all our surfaces are nice and shiny still. Just need a good clean. So we could bring this carrier back around. But unfortunately, this case half is no good. So this will go to the scrap. Here's our other side, which doesn't appear to have any wear in it, just leftovers from its married partner. Yeah. This side looks like it could be cleaned. Of course, we won't know about any hidden damage until the case half is properly cleaned, but it looks to be in good shape, so we'll keep that aside. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a pretty crazy demonstration of an 02J failure. Improper maintenance can always lead to this. It's definitely worth taking the time to change the oil in your transmission and keep up on maintenance. You can check for bearing wear by wiggling your axle cup. If the axle cup has excessive play, then your diff bearings are gone, and you can see here, but maintenance is important. Otherwise you get into catastrophic issues. And I mean, there are some inherent design flaws. The center pin is held in by a cotter pin here, so that can shear, you know. It's not all user error, but Volkswagen can't get everything right. And these transmissions are generally pretty reliable. So comment below if you'd like to see one of these 02Js rebuilt. I would definitely love to do it and put it on the channel. I daily drive one of these cars, so having a transmission rebuilt sitting there waiting for me is definitely not a bad thing. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of this absolute carnage, definitely stick around and give us a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel grow and we post pretty regularly. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.